Hey everybody, welcome back to Jane's Books and Stuff. Today I've brought some of the Modelers magazines. This is not from the Mike Moon collection, but it was from that trip. See a few videos back if you want to see more of that. Look at this. How was I not going to get this? Summer 2001 Kitbuilders magazine. I had never heard of it. But oh my god, Megaguirus and Godzilla? In 2001? Hell yeah. Little thing down here. Kaiju, kaiju, kaiju. That is what I'm talking about. So we'll take a look at some of this. There's some really cool stuff in here. I mentioned before, this level of modeling, not my expertise. I mentioned that in a previous video. But there's all kinds of neat stuff in here. I mean, this is a very cool subculture. You can check out Green Lantern up here and the Rhino. A lot of ads in these, but I guess I need to get used to that if I'm going to keep pouring through magazines. New on the web with the spider web, ha ha ha. I mean, that's so that's so old school. It's like you can't even make fun of it. It's just perfect the way it is. Also over here, not totally sure who this artist is, PB, but this character appears a couple times in this book, and I really like it. So this is a whole Godzilla themed issue, pretty much until the very end. The other Modler magazine we're going to look at also has the same expo in it. And it's got something very similar to this as well. Coming back from Wonderfest, the hobby is very much alive, which, yeah. I can see why there might be dwindling fears. Oh, the internet, the kids are on the damn computer. But, you know, when you go to things like that, it always kind of inspires you. They're like, oh, people like this stuff. When I went to HeroesCon, I saw people of all ages. So, you know, I imagine for something like modeling, which is significantly more complex and expensive, that you'd be pretty happy to see stuff. Something I noticed here, Caped Crusader bust and Adam West Caped Crusader. Were they not allowed to call him Batman in this ad? I'm not sure. They can call this Predator, so I don't really know what's up with this. There's in the other Modeler magazine we'll look at, they do call him Batman, so very strange. So the first thing that jumped out at me here, the romanization, again, amusing probably only to me, but Megaguirus, which, you know, fair enough, I guess. You know, if you don't know, you don't know. There was definitely no contemporary source for that, I think. But yeah, this is one beautiful kit made of many pieces. And they talk to the modeler a bit later, but this is just going through the whole process. And if you're wondering, I was too. So Megaguirus is actually attached on the Godzilla's tail, which is so friggin' cool. I mean, that is so awesome to see. But this goes through absolutely everything. You know, wiring it together, molding it together, things that are somewhat beyond my comprehension. But you can see starting to build some of it here. This modeler in particular, they chose some really interesting colors for Megaguirus. Yeah, look at this like vibrant purple. Now, when I think of Megaguirus, I think they're like a silvery monster. That's kind of how they looked in like Godzilla Save the Earth and some of those other video games. I think of them as kind of like silver and orange, but there's this like very bright purple, and it looks freaking cool. There's a base as well. Godzilla sits on, and something I've noticed in a couple modeling magazines. You have to be careful with painting the mouth and the face and all of that in the order you assemble it. Just really interesting stuff to pass along. I just thought that was so neat. And again, more monster kits, more Godzilla kaiju kits. I really, really like this one up here with Godzilla and the UFO from Monster Zero, or yeah, Monster Zero, right? I think that's when that happened. Also a really big fan of Baragon down here. She is just like me for real. If I could carry all those kits out, I totally would. Um, but yeah, lots of interesting little reports on, you know, how cool these are, basically. And let's see. Yeah, Sideshow tackles Lord of the Rings license. This and the next book have a lot of that early hype for Lord of the Rings, which really fascinates me because I was a little on the younger side for that, and I didn't see those movies till I was a little older. Sinbad, classic source of inspiration. There's Batman again. See, again, no mention of the name, so I feel like something's going on there. This is all just like news and stuff, but pretty neat. I mean, to me, it's like difficult to imagine like, oh, this new resin kit's gonna come out. I mean, this looks like a ton of fun when you see them do it. I think if I do it, I get pissed off. So it kind of is what it is. But maybe someday. So this is about Batoro Gozi, so Godzilla versus Batora, the movie, which Batora is also a really cool monster, much like Megaguirus, so it kind of thematically sticks together. And yeah, what a beautiful design there. I mean, that is just so cool. I am mighty and happy and powerful, for I have created Godzilla, a dream come true. Indeed. So this section was very interesting. Also, this ad page, boy, tantalizing, isn't it? It's like, yeah, we've got all this stuff. Gigan, Batra, multiple Godzillas. The houses are so cool. And Godzilla's best buddy in the world, Anguirus. But this part, I have never heard of anyone doing this, but it makes a lot of sense if you have Modler skills. I apologize about the glare. It's going crazy. But this is about sculpting a new head for one of the old, I guess it's a reissue of the 60s or 70s model kits, maybe from Aurora, I'm not sure, but they call it Polar Light. But in the next magazine, you'll see a new Polar Light Godzilla, so it kind of threw me off. But this is the original head of that model kit, and it looks like the artwork on the front, but this guy was like, I'm going to make a cool one. Just with my own skill, I'm going to make a friggin' sweet one. And watching this come together in the photos, I mean, how do you even do this? I mean, sculpting is an amazing art just on its own, but there's so many photos. I mean, it's really great to see just like how many steps it takes and retries and techniques to just get this looking a little more like the film Godzilla. So really, really impressive stuff there. A little more. And yep, this just goes, you see every part of this, which is great because if you wanted to do something like it yourself, you're going to need all this help. And this made me smile. If anyone's seen like Gundam.TK's old videos, they had a bunch of these like rotating stands for all the gunpla, and I always wanted one. I don't have one. They're not expensive, I don't think, but I really like these little turntable plates. They're cute, I guess you could say. Did we skip ahead a page? Yes. So this section was really incredible. This is on Takao Yamakawa, who I was not familiar with, but now I want to know even more about. This is all their sculpting and kits, and it's like, holy crap! Like, you kick ass at this. I couldn't find this issue online. I wish I could just straight up share the whole article, but yet another artist who is extremely casual about all their amazing work and just bringing this stuff into 3D when you see it in a movie. I mean, this is sick. There's more. Look, this one's so cool. Godzilla vs. Mothra. King Ghidorah. I think one of these is from the like Mothra trilogy of movies. I'd have to double check the article. They say what all these. There's like an index for all these, but Ebura, just so cool. It's just so cool. It's already cool to like enjoy Godzilla and to have Godzilla toys and stuff. Just like making your own stuff and modeling your favorite monsters. I mean, that is just the greatest. Look at that. That's exactly how it must feel. Thumbs up. Way to go, Yamakawa. Now look at this. There's neat stuff over here. But American McGee. Alice Returns, I think, is the name of the game. Wow. It's just that's a jump scare if ever I saw one. I could have forgot that was in here. And then there's a couple other things. Bright Vision. It's a horror sci-fi show. I see Venom down here. Pretty cool. And then look at this. Batgirl. I think it's called Batgirl Adventures. Just total homage to that cover, which would not have been that old at the time. Wonderfest is so freaking cool. Lum is here. I'm not 100% sure who this is, but you know this too. I'm not exactly sure. I wanted to say it was Cardcaptor Sakura, but I don't think it is. I'm sure somebody knows, and I'm a big doofus. I think that covers all the really exciting stuff here. If you don't like Godzilla, there's some more in the back here. Normal stuff, you know, air quotes. But yeah, really, these are so cool. I mean, this is a window into something I know so little about. But I would not mind having more of these because they are really interesting. And maybe eventually I'll learn something. So pretty similar. You see the pattern here, right? I see Godzilla. My wallet opens up. Just very. I don't know how it happens, but this is Modler's resource. Very very similar in tone and style, but look at that Godzilla. So this is the new Polar Light kit. We'll take a look at that when we open it. But Lord of the Rings on the set, Superman Fever, and more Imagination Expo. So just really neat stuff. Polar Light kits available. I bet this would be fun. Robbie the Robot. That has to be something fun to put together. Maybe I'll find a build on YouTube or something. But let's get going here. Look at all this. I feel like this is what people see when they click on my website. But I'm also a big fan of. I'll have to lift up the book a little bit here, but anybody that has these little goof sections, I keep opening these magazines and they have these little. Sorry, we messed up, and boy, that must have been really tough back in the day to have to print these. In your next issue, like, oh, sorry, somebody's address was wrong, somebody's phone number was wrong, some date was wrong. I mean, that would bug the crap out of me. You know, when something's wrong on my website, I can just fix it, but nope. So this is another like sculpting project. Just making your own cool looking monster again, just so friggin' awesome. And wow, look at this. So yeah, as you can see, this does not resemble the kit that was rebuilt with a new head in the Kitbuilders magazine, but this is something new. I guess it came out in between this issue and the one we just looked at because that was summer 2001. This is March April 2002, I think. So I guess oh no, here it is, February March 2002. You know, close enough. But this looks friggin' awesome. I mean, that's super cool. And in this issue also, they talk about how they made this box art. So how sweet is this? This one I enjoyed. This was you get to see all the decisions made in painting this base and the cool plate on these tanks, and something I never thought about before. If you're like custom modeling Godzilla or even with the kit, yeah, how do you put all these on? It must be a pain in the butt. All the dorsal fins. I mean, geez. Shout out to anyone who has the patience for that. It's beautiful. See, there's the thing with the jaw again that is mentioned. And down here you can see they've attached that as one of the last pieces after they painted it, I believe. The train goes in. I mean, just so damn cool. Alright, Gen Con, something we still have 24 years later. There's so much hype for, you know, more Lord of the Rings. Whoopsie. This was interesting. So, this is a Batman and Joker kit, but they remake the Joker into Robin. Again, just taking this kind of stuff into your own hands. I just can't believe people think of this stuff, but so neat. I mean, talk about creativity. I think I missed a page, but alright. Now this again, part of this subculture. So much of Lord of the Rings, especially Fellowship, but I think the latter two as well. Lots of miniatures and physical effects and props, and this just goes into all that and the forced perspective, just craziness that went into Lord of the Rings. I mean, it is really nuts. um, Again, kind of a wall of text, but they do have cool pictures from the movie, and I just can't even imagine. I'll ask Mike about it next time I see him. But just if you love these books, like if you love The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and then this movie starts getting made and you see photos of it, I mean, holy cow. This was a cute, very like pulp magazine style diorama. I say cute, but like this seems like it was hard to do. Hard to do. But Commando Cody fighting this robot. Not familiar with the character. I swore he was the Rocketeer, but once I read through it, not the Rocketeer. And this one's about King Kong. I mean, just King Kong kicks ass. Anyone? I mean, this is like the diorama you would want, right? If you were gonna have like a monster movie, like one scene, this would be a pretty big one. That's just so awesome. Yeah. Process of painting his face, pretty tough. I would be in there like, my hand shaking. And I like how they did the planes as well. Just really cool and pops with color. You see this one kind of jumps around a little between these stories. But sculpting Godzilla. I think this is for the Polar Light kit that we saw. So pretty cool. And details like this, like just the little webbing in the claw. I mean, ugh, you guys are geniuses. And then let's see if we can get to the last bit here. Oh, these are like all these movies and stuff that are like coming out on DVD. Like, oh guys, it's on DVD. Again, and if you're custom modeling stuff, I used the word again a lot today, but if you're custom modeling this stuff, this is your main resource, right? Like freeze framing stuff and trying to take a look. Now look at that. That is so awesome. Trying to get a box art that matches the coolness of the kit. I mean, that is just so sick. I would love to have that in my room. We see the inspiration. Yeah, these like reddish orange skies, super freaking cool. I mean, that is just gorgeous. Ah, yes, I almost forgot about this. This is young David's report on Dragon Ball model kits, and hopefully you can see, but it's written a couple ways in this article. I don't know if Mr. David typed it themselves or what, but we see Dragon Ball Z, lowercase z, no spaces anywhere, and it's amazing how mangled Dragon Ball's name and characters are in this kind of like early-ish period. I feel like 2002 is a little late to be. I mean, it's written right there, isn't it? But there's so many funny things to point out in here, and it's sweet, it's cool. I mean, that's pretty freaking cool and good. So props to David. But let's see what's down here. Vegeta is a tough guy. He wants to be the best out of all of them. He is also mean. His special power is Galagun, which is an exploding bulb of light. The bulb of light kills his enemies. True. So this is adorable. I mean, that's kind of worth hunting it down before. Now look at this. Kits that time forgot. Superman. Now when I see like modeling stuff on YouTube every now and then, I see this like everywhere because it's freaking cool looking. I mean, it's Superman. Just the idea that it was called Kits That Time Forgot. I mean, that's some modern YouTube. Wait, and look up here. It's damn Supergirl's first appearance. I mean, that is such a sweet thing to have as a 3D like diorama in your house. And they go over some other stuff and releases of Superman kits. It's friggin' steel. I mean, cool. So, comic book dioramas, those are some of the coolest things. Nice report on the East Coast Hobby Show. And yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, this was totally worth a couple bucks at the very least. But all right, enough modeling stuff. I've got one more thing to show you today. not related to Godzilla. This is G Gundam. I recently got some Tokyopop Gundam manga from a friend who was in a little bit of a bind. I said, okay, I'll buy these off you. You can have some cash. And this is really cool. So, it is one of those adaptations that's very, abridged. I mean, I brought out volume 2 here to show you a couple interesting things about it, but it's one of those ultra abridged kind of things. In the first volume, he meets the Shuffle Alliance, Tomonkashu, and then immediately they go fight the Dark Gundam, and then almost immediately they go to Neo Hong Kong. And it is just as fast can be. But this volume's actually pretty cool. 3 as well. It slows down and actually gets to some of the best parts of the whole series in Neo Hong Kong. So I thought this would be worth showing a little bit of. I'll see if I can bring it out. But all the splash pages in this, totally awesome. They're really good, and there's some interesting stuff like this. The first volume, if you read it, it's a little pedestrian by comparison, but this one's got some more cool splash pages and artistic effects. Rain is there. There's everybody with their Gundams. Let's see if we can get ahead here. Allenby's in here somewhere. Oh, it's freaking sweet. I love the Shining Gundam. I like the Burning Gundam too, but yeah, you know all this if you've seen the anime, but here he is making his grand entrance with the with the rings around the earth. This is really great to read, not for this story, but if you've already seen the TV show and you just want to remember some of the fun parts and see everybody again. I really enjoyed reading through this for that reason. But let's see if I can find that page with Allenby. You get to see a few in the first volume. You don't get to see any of like these almost these weird other country Gundams. I don't like the way that sounded when I said it, but really neat. I always kind of like seeing well, here's Allenby. I always like seeing like mobile suits and Gundam in manga because they don't move, so the drawings of them tend to be really good. Before I forget, one thing I thought was interesting about this. So this whole thing is billed as like authentic manga, like it reads right to left. Ooh. Untranslated sound effects through this whole thing, and the other 2 volumes as well. I've never seen that in my life where they just left this alone. So maybe other Tokyopop manga have it. I can't say for sure. I don't totally know, but that's weird to me. I mean, usually it's either covered up or something, or there's a little note. And in this case, there's just nothing. God, that looks good. There's just a little bit of nothing, so kind of strange to me. Maybe that Allenby panel I wanted to show is in volume 3, but yeah. So they try to go through the core beats of as much as they can, but it is pretty heavily abridged, to the point where there's definitely some crucial scenes and famous scenes missing, which is a bit of a bummer. Best part about this, though, the little 4 Kolma in the back. Go for it, Domon. These are so cool. I love all the chibi drawings of the mobile suits and the characters. That's something I really enjoyed. I don't know if these are hard to find or anything. I've got some Gundam 0079 ones as well, so I will be reading those sometime soon. I've got a lot to look at lately. So, with that said, I think we'll call it a video there. Leave a comment if you like the video. It really helps it perform. I think that's how YouTube works. Subscribe as well. I'll try to do these at a regular pace, and we'll see you all next time. Thanks for joining me.